Hey, good morning, fellas. It's the 17th. It's a little after 5 o'clock. On my way down the hill. I'm almost at the bottom of the hill. And I wanted to tell you a story. I have finally received what is called a release. And I can tell you some of the stories about when I was much younger in the military. When I went into the military as a last resort, my last chance from a judge. And while I went into as 11 X-ray, which is infantry unassigned, and I'm going to get to the point. I can't believe they. Anyways, after you do things, if you want to talk about, and they're declassified, and you want to talk about them, you kind of need to get a release to where the military says, yeah, we don't care about that shit anymore. So anyways, DOD. So anyways, I go in and I finish my first contract, and I realize that the judge had sealed my records. So I could apply for security clearance. And while I'm waiting for my security clearance, there's a group called Explosive Ordnance Disposal, EOD. And they're looking for volunteers because you can't be forced in that at MOS. And I was always looking for money. I went to jump school. I'm afraid of heights, but I went to jump school because it paid extra money. Went to air assault for extra money. I volunteered to go to dangerous places because if you weren't in combat, they had a thing called danger pay. So I would do all of that shit. And I was single. All I did was try to eat good, work out all the time, stay in top shape, and practice fighting, wrestling and boxing mostly, and the traditional martial arts, taekwondo. Jiu-jitsu was very new back then. Anyways, get to the point. So I get accepted into the program, and one of the conditions of me being accepted into the program is I had to learn what they called functional Spanish. So once I could prove I knew some functional Spanish, they then assigned me to the 36th EOD in Corozal, Panama. Now, the 36th EOD at that time was a very rough and tumble unit. It was not under the engineers. It was under the command, the local command, which was Southern Command at the time. In fact, we were assigned to the 193rd Infantry, which is also known as the Rakkasans. So anyways, down there, I'm bumping around in Central and South America battling the Sendero Luminoso, the Tupac Amaru, the M19, the M20, Maoist guerrillas that were funded by China, Russia, and basically all of our counterparts were Cubans. And they were running around trying to, improve everybody's life by making them communists. And I was part of the teams that were contra to them. So my tour duty's done, and I'm sent a reassignment. A request was sent in for me because of some of the things I did. Every year in the Army, I can't speak for the other branches, I was in the Army. Every year the Army had a competition, and I was at the first probably 7 EOD competitions. And what they called it was the toy competition, Team of the Year. I'd won it a couple times, finished second, third a couple times. And anyway, so I don't know why, but I was selected by the Army to be put in a unit called the 67th EOD at Fort McNair in Washington, D.C. That unit was, I don't know if they're still there. Anyway, it was United States Secret Service support. And I was then detached from the unit and assigned to the TSD division of the Secret Service, which is the Technical Security Division. And we would do, since my specialty was IEDs, improvised explosive devices, booby traps and stuff like that, and because I had actual real world experience disactivating IEDs, I was sent up there, and I was usually on the advanced team with the TSD division of the Secret Service, and then I would stay there while the POTUS, VPOTUS, President of the United States, Vice President, FLOTUS, First Lady, all of those things, I would stay there until they had what is called wheels up. So anyways, while I'm detailed to the TSD division of the Secret Service, they get a request for some of our type of services to work in the United States, but that's a violation of the Posse Comitatus Act, which means you can't use federal troops in civilian matters. Well, you're not supposed to, but they do it all the time. That's the law and that's the stuff. So anyways, they iron that out, and I'm assigned to an FBI unit, and they're looking for serial killers. And this ties into, this is why I had to write the letter. This ties into what's going on with some of the truckers. So a lot of women, especially Native American women up north, and especially under US Highway 40, which goes east to west, west to east, coast to coast. There's a lot of people going missing. And one of the things they had found, the FBI had found, who know about them, I didn't know anything about this, is that they operated in groups. And they were doing human trafficking, drugs, all kinds of different stuff. They were bad dudes on wheels. And one of the things they were known for is using mechanical booby traps. Now, mechanical booby traps are like, you take a soup can, cut the top off of it, pour it out, clean it out, turn it upside down, and you stick a grenade up on it. And the grenade has a body to it, and it has a fuse, a cock striking fuse on top of it. So you trip the wire, pulls the grenade out of the soup can, the spoon comes off, and it fires, goes off. So mechanical booby traps like that. And that they would booby trap the sleeping compartment of their vehicle, as well as many of the hidden compartments they had on the trailers. And it was easier for them to exchange a trailer than a tractor in there. So anyways, so I had to learn all about trucks and trailers and how to make them go up and down. Can't remember, there's this little turn bar, looks like an old musical crank. So anyways, we get out there, and of course, the FBI doesn't fucking think they need me. And I'm, and I keep to myself, quiet, just doing push-ups and sit-ups when I can. I'm working out. I don't talk a lot. I'm not trying to tell my story or anything like that. And we would go from place to place, and it was much like combat. I don't know if any of you have actually served in face-melting combat, but there's times where it is just absolutely, it's boring. And you get lulled into a full sense of security. Shit, I'm already at the turnout point. I'll show you. Here at Bear Ridge, I'm going to go do my official tap on the wall and turn you around. So here's the light boxes. Touch that. I don't know. I'm supposed to touch that. That's what they say. It's something for the memory or whatever. So anyway, so we're running around and they're looking for this guy. He's called the Red Baron. He would only give his name. He hated showing his ID. He wouldn't show his ID to anybody. Hang on. So we're looking for him, and they got a description on him. White guy, thin, wiry white guy. So anyways, and they're trying to track him down. And you gotta think, back then, this was after Reagan had been shot, and Reagan's already up in the Walter Reed Army Medical Center. And if you don't know, they have a presidential wing just for those guys. They got their own doctors and nurses. It's first time I went in there, I was like, fuck. So really, I mean, we'll talk about a nice facility, a nice hospital. Anyways, all that to be said to say this. So they didn't really, there wasn't really a lot going on. The protectee, the prime protectee, taken care of, so they loaned me out. And if you have to do anything like that in the United States, you have to deal with the FBI. And if it's outside the United States, you usually deal with the three-letter agency and sometimes a military group assigned to an embassy. So I'm assigned to an FBI team. I wasn't in the FBI. I was never in the Secret Service. I did work at the White House, and I did work with them. So, anyways, we're going along, and then it's like 3 or 4 weeks into it. It's shitty motel to shitty motel, hanging out in truck stops and all that other kind of shit. And then boom, you get over the radio. We got them. We're following them. And I don't know if you guys know what a lot lizard is, but that's the name, one of the synonymous names they have for prostitutes that work in the gas stations selling their body for money. A vast majority of them have serious trauma, and that's one of the only ways they can make money. A lot of them are drug addicts. So anyways, they're women that can go missing without raising a lot of alarms. So anyways, they think they have the Red Baron, and one of the things is that he's known for booby trapping the cab of the vehicle so that whoever he has taken dies if we try to take him. So they want to take him where he can't get anywhere near there, and I'm supposed to go in and clear the tractor first, because usually that's where the girls are kept in there. But there are some very sadistic, twisted people out there that convert parts of a trailer into, I call it a den of horrors. Anyway, and one of the things I will tell you about all of this is you can't unsee some of that stuff. And once you see it, it stays with you. I will tell you the worst part of it is the smells. And people have to urinate on themselves and defecate on themselves for days on end. And they're so fucking traumatized. Anyways, let's get on with it. So anyways, I can't remember if it's Texas, because I know we got one in Texas. I know we got one in Arizona, and we caught many of them coming out of Florida, going across Florida. I think from Florida to Georgia, across Georgia, and then into Texas. If I'm in Louisiana, if I'm screwing that up, I'm not. Anyways, all right. So they pull the guy over, grab him out of the truck. He pretty much meets the description of the Red Baron, but they don't. It ends up not being him. So you have to learn how to get into a tractor trailer. So they saw him get out of it. So if there was anything, it was going to be in a sleeping cab. And sure as shit, there was a lady in the back who ended up being a Native American from up around Butte, Montana, or someplace up in Montana. And how she ended up all the way down there doesn't make any sense to me, but that wasn't my job. So once it's clear, I would give them the all clear, and then I would go back and work on the trailer, and they would do their stuff, interviewing her, cutting her out. And man, you would not believe how much restraint you can do to a human being with a roll of duct tape. So anyways, we never caught that guy. And I think their best guess at people they had lost for that year were 3,000 women. I was shocked. And then after a while, The Secret Service wanted me back, and the FBI was delaying it. So it became just a big pissing match. So anyways, I've gotten permission to talk about some of those things. And I can talk to you about some of the things we did. And God darn it, my shoelaces came undone. In Central and South America. Back then there were civil wars going on in Guatemala, El Salvador, and some of the things that happened down there. Colombia, the border of Colombia, were the FARC and the M19 were battling the country, the government. Chile, they had Pinochet down there. There was all kinds of crazy shit going on down there in Central and South America. So that's it for me. I have to tie my shoes, so I'm going to put you guys down here. Love you guys. And this is, here, what did I have to say? This is for entertainment purposes only, all right? Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can, and if you can, you take care of yourself. I'm not out here by myself. There's another dude over there running. What? Okay. Like a fort in a G-string from West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.